In this circuit we have current flowing through pin 9 and then through the current limiting resistor and then to the anode of the LED, and then the current flows through to the cathode of the LED and then goes back to ground. And here we have the LED changing its brightness and dimming, and the reason we're able to do that is because of the function analog write, which allows us to create the pulse width modulation, which is which adjusts the amount of time 5 volts is being applied to the pin, and that creates the dimming effect of the LED. Here we have a setup where 5 volts right here is running through a wire into one end of the potentiometer, and then we have the middle part of the potentiometer connected to the positive of the motor. Then the current runs through to ground and then back into the Arduino. And when we turn the potentiometer, right now it's at has a low resistance, that's why it's off. When we turn it all the way to 0 resistance, the motor cuts on. Here in this circuit we have a setup where the 5 volt and ground is connected to the breadboard, and then the high and low resistance of the potentiometer are connected to positive and ground, or positive and negative. And then the middle of the potentiometer, the wiper, is connected to the A0 pin. And then for the motor, we have a external 9 volt power source in the positive. Then we have the positive connected to the positive of the motor, which runs through the motor, and then a negative wire of the motor is in parallel with the diode, which runs through the transistor and then it grounds out. Then we have the transistor connected to a digital pin, which is pin number 3. And what we're going to do here is we're going to change the speed of the motor using the potentiometer. Right now, the potentiometer is at high resistance, so the motor is running at a low speed, and as I decrease the resistance, the motor speeds up, and as I lower it, as I increase the resistance, the motor slows down. Here we have the same setup as objective 3, but instead it has a push button. And the way the code is set is if the potentiometer is greater than 500 and the push button is pressed, the motor turns on. And right now the serial monitor reads 715, so when we push the push button, the motor should turn on. And if we turn the potentiometer down, if it goes below 500, and we push the push button, the motor doesn't turn on.